Uh, so the question is why does linking marketing and sales to operations make sense? And when we ask this question, everybody said, "Oh, duh, it's logical." But then in the end, we also see that in the real world, it got disconnected, and that's what I'm going to talk about on how to reconnect and why it makes sense in this presentation. So, short introduction about myself. I'm a mathematician from background. That's why I love data and start working on it and see what data can do for you and your operations. I've more than 25 years of experience in marketing, in commercial and sales, and in digital, but also 15 years and more experience in business transformation, business turnaround, and see to how improve businesses. I've worked for very small companies and large corporations, so I know the difference, and I know what to love for both of the kind of organizations. I'm a fan of this industry. It's about hospitality, it's leisure, it's fun. There's also the people that work there. It's the engagement, the passion that's in there. And yeah, like Mario said, I'm also the CMO of BMI Leisure, serving more than a couple of hundred customers in 70 countries worldwide. So to start, question to you, whom from you have been working for small organizations, let's say 20 or 25 employees or less? Did you like that? A lot of people say yes, and you know why? If you see, by the way, oh, that's our team. We're also not that big yet. But why do employees say, I like this? Because they say, yeah, everybody is involved. We all know what's happening. It's very, very good. It's a very good asset to have as a company. It's also about clear communication. There's no reasons why, wondering, questions, and stuff like that. There's also a very fast response. If something happened, we know what to do. It's also good for the company, since because of the size, you get this natural ownership. You have the customer intimacy, and you also see the direct impact on results. So, hey, great. But then again, we all love to grow as a company. We want to be bigger, have bigger venues, multiple venues, and stuff like that. So that's the essence. And then the question is, okay, how do we get there? And when we get there, by the way, a lot of our employees facing those growing pains and asking the questions, oh, suddenly there's all these great people. There's a specialist in marketing, there's a specialist in operations, and they all know what to do. But they also are working in their own silos. There's miscommunications. There's also, as a result of that, slow or lack of response. So, how many of you are operators and recognize part of these problems that you say, okay, I have a full venue during peak times, and I don't have the headspace of the opportunity to really get my head or to improve things, or the other way around, that you have the slow moments, and what should I be doing to fill those things? I'm facing queues in my venues, or no queues at all. How should I handle these? Frustrated customers that they say, okay, I was here 2 years ago or 3 months ago, and you don't even recognize me. I need to get my data again and again and again. It's misinformation about, okay, marketing did this special promotion. How come that the team doesn't know, or the code isn't working, and stuff like that? As a management, that you say, okay, what's the impact on my results? It's very unclear. It's all of these practical problems that everybody is facing in larger organizations once in a while. So, wouldn't it be great if you could support this part of natural ownership, customer intimacy, and also the direct impact on results? So, that's why connection makes sense. So, you need to make sure that your marketing and sales actions are in line with the operational part. And that's easy said, but then the question is how to do it. So there's basically 7 steps that make sense. First, collect the data wherever you can, and I mean wherever you can. That's on the online booking. It's during the registration. It's during getting achievements and results. every opportunity is there. When you get a ticket, when you buy stuff, do you want an email send and stuff like that? There's so much opportunities out there to collect that data. But then again, collecting the data doesn't make sense if you don't do anything with it. So you need to start spending time, and it doesn't need to be the full time, but at least some of you need to look into this data, collect the insights, and then share those insights with the team. There's a collective information that you need to have. You need to make time to discuss these insights with the team. And it can be very, very simple insights. We had a US client that said, okay, or he didn't even say it, it was the data that was saying it. During COVID, suddenly the spend per customer went up, and they didn't know why. And then if you look into the data, it was actually because their queues were shorter during COVID, and that's all what we see when we go to a festival. You go to the cashier once, and then you are running out of credits, and then do I want to recharge my card and stuff like that? If there's a small queue, you will do it. If there's a large queue, you won't do it. And it's these kind of insights that need to be shared with the team. And sometimes it can only be the question, it's not the insights even. Then use the creativity of the full organization to define some actions. That's the other one. Then roll out these actions, test them, and if they work, roll them out and scale them. But then again, also try to automate all of these actions, since you don't want to end up after 2 years doing the same discussions over and over again. You need to make sure that whatever you learn, that is scaled and automated. So there's some insights that we learned that I want to share to you. It's not a full overview, but there's some insights there that might inspire you on how to increase your profit or your revenue with 10%. And one of them is it's easier to gain 10% extra revenue during peak hours than during the slow moments. Again, of course, but what we see in practice is marketing is actually focusing on filling the slow moments rather than looking at, okay, what can we do in the moment to make sure that we make maximum use of capacity. It's pricing, but it's also making sure there's bundling. It's also making sure that you say, hey, there's 3 lanes of my bowling not occupied at this stage, so I send a push notification at this moment to the venue that you can say, go to the front desk if you want the bowl right now. And it's all of these insights that make sense. Since you don't need to spend additional money on your staff, they're there anyway. And also the incremental spend that you need per visitor is far lower than trying to attract these new visitors. Another one, it's easier to gain 10% additional profit by reducing staff costs than trying to gain additional revenue. And I don't, of course you like to be there for your staff, but it totally makes sense. But that also means that marketing should be focusing on how to reduce costs. Can I make sure that there's more pre-bookings? Can I address customers to use self-serve kiosks? And also from operational point of view, is there stuff that they can do to reduce repetitive tasks? Can I automate stuff? And all these kinds of things that make sense. One of our big clients in the UK saved 30 FTE by just making sure that they have centralized booking across their venues rather than have one receptionist in every venue. It's these kind of things that really improve your bottom line of your business results, and start thinking on those ones. Another one, it's easier to increase 10% spending of guests than attract the new. Again, it makes sense. In new customers, I don't know them. I don't know where to find them. I need to have a lot of marketing costs and spendings to attract them and maybe give discounts and stuff like that. Whilst when they're there, it's all about loyalty. It's about making sure, okay, I know you did a birthday party last year, so the probability that you will need a birthday party next year is quite high. I know that you like a certain kind of activity, so whenever there's a new update of a certain activity, I can message you. If you didn't use the food and beverage before, I can give you a discount to make sure that you start using it. It's these kind of things that really matter, and that can only happen if you really connect the marketing team and the sales teams to your operations team. So it's just, again, it's few of those examples. There are plenty of those. It's all linked to the same thing. So how do you do it? It's not just about, okay, a system or collecting the data or use the creativity. It's, again, it's make sure there's clear common goals. It's not just, okay, hey, operations, you need to drive down cost, or hey, marketing, you need to drive revenue. No, it's really saying, okay, let's focus on one of these 10% rules, and what can we do together to get there? And then make sure that you translate them in those personal objectives. You need to make sure, okay, this is what I need to do to get to this goal of the company. Then obviously that doesn't make sense if I don't share the results. So whenever marketing does a really nice action, but they don't communicate about the impact, then how does the operational team know, okay, we did a good job? So it's the same, and it's also the other way around, of course. If it didn't work, we also need to learn as a team and don't do it again and try to focus on other stuff next time. And how do you do that? Obviously, you celebrate successes. Make sure that everybody is aware that the goal was met, that it was a successful team. It can be small, it can be big, but these are really important. And if you do that, obviously, then you will get this national ownership. You will natural ownership. You will get the customer intimacy, and you will see those direct impact on results. So basically, very short, inspirational story, but that's what I want to say. Thank you.